Welcome back to the Crook Sells Homestead. Ever have one of those days or weeks where nothing goes according to plan? We're having one of those, and that's okay. So, where to begin? My husband is in New York visiting with his family, and because of COVID and all of the surgeries that he had to have last year and just life, he has not seen his family since before all this started. And so it's been a full year, and in that time we've lost several family members, and we've gotten married and we've really gone just 100% with our efforts with the homestead. And so it's wonderful for him to be able to take this time to go and spend some time with his family. It was short notice, so because of that we weren't all able to go, but that's okay, because hopefully next time we'll find someone that can look out for things here while we're away, and we'll be good to go. And so anyway, that brings me to what I have in front of me today. I took the advice of some of my fellow YouTubers and gardeners and invested in some heavy-duty 72 cell trays. It's come to my attention that if I keep sowing seeds the way I have been, I will never have enough room to get them all to maturity because there's only so much room on a grow shelf, number one. And number two, we've had to do some construction here on the homestead, including framing in a new window and framing in a new door. Neither of which is completed as of yet. And then we also need to do some more cleanup in that space and build me some shelves, which I have the material, but just like with our fences for animals, that's been put on the back burner. I got a call this morning saying that our handyman who has been helping us with construction here on the homestead, he and his family are not feeling well and running fevers. And so I told him to focus on his family, get well, and then depending how that goes, we can try to reschedule for next week. But that means no progress on the fencing, which means no more planting outside until we get those fences up, because we can't have the animals in the garden space, and the fences are essential for everything that we're trying to accomplish here. So I have my 72 starter trays, and then everything that I've started in seeds that is starting to come up, I also need to be up potting that. So my number one focus is getting that window and that door finished so that I have somewhere to continue the up planting or up potting of our fruits and vegetables, not just for our use, but for our fellow friends, family, and homesteaders that we're also doing our seed starts for. As of right now, things seem to be going well. We've got a little bit of issues with a little bit of mold on one batch of okra, but aside from that, it's looking pretty good. And I think the seedlings that I started last week in my mom's homemade seed pots should be fine, as long as I up pot those before the end of the weekend for the ones that have come up. I think with the material that they are made from, they're a little bit more prone to mold. So that brings me to where we're at right now. And I have a lot of seeds. My sister-in-law was concerned that I didn't have enough squash, tomatoes, or pepper seeds. And so I went through this morning and I put away all of my seeds that I definitely for sure don't need to start any more of. And this is what's left of just varieties of tomatoes. This is what's left of just varieties of peppers, besides the ones that we already have growing. Thanks to my gardener, I also have a few varieties of basil that I have never grown before, and I'm super excited to plant as well. So even though I have a ton of basil started, we're going to be doing some of that. I have another amaranth, which is a much fresher seed, and I'm looking forward to getting some more of that started. I have not been able to get my cilantro up, and so I'm going to try one more time on the cilantro and see if I can't get some of that going. My Thompson Dwarf peas came in. Super excited about those. I've got 2 different varieties of peas started, but I don't know exactly what they are. I do know what these are, and I'm looking forward to that. Our Oriental yard long beans came in, so we're going to get those in the ground. And then I also got some midnight black turtle beans because we eat a lot of Hispanic or Mexican or Italian, different types of dishes that these go well in. So in addition to that, I also had squash. Lots and lots and lots of squash. And I could not choose, or had a hard time choosing, which squash to plant. Because I like to mix it up with some that is vining, some that's more traditional, some that produces large, some that produces small, different shapes, different colors. Because if you go and you try to get them started from somewhere else, you're going to find that you have basically your traditional yellow squashes and your traditional zucchini squash. And although those are great, they're not as, I don't know, maybe resilient as some other breeds or types of squash. So I'd like to share with you the squash that I have seeded out this morning and let you know what we should hopefully be able to look forward to in the garden this year. So first of all, I have this pink banana jumbo squash. I have never tried this before. Super excited about that one. Then we have our cucuzzi squash, which thanks to Jessica of Roots and Refuge, we can't wait to try this out. It's somewhere between a cucumber and a squash and can be used for a number of different things, including feeding our animals. Our Dutch crookneck, definitely looking forward to growing that one. It's just beautiful. I see everybody else growing it, and I never have before, so I figured we'd give it a try. We're also going to be putting in some butternut, straight 8, round zucchini. This is one that I found on Botanical Interests and that I think is going to be a great fit for our garden. It's mature in 45 days, so where some of these won't even be starting to fruit yet, this one should be putting on. Spaghetti squash, because everyone in my family loves spaghetti squash and it lasts for so long. It has a longer maturity date, 90 days. Then we've got the coco zell, which is also from Botanical Interest. This one too is a short maturity date of 42 to 45 days. So we're looking forward to having that one. It's frost sensitive, so we held off on starting it for sure. Also from Botanical Interest, and I'm probably going to mispronounce this, the Dyrana Squash. It looks like it's more of a silver squash, and it's mature also in 50 days. And then the cube of butter, also from Botanical Interest, mature in 50 days. Squash is one of those things that in our climate where we're at with the type of bugs that we have, that I found it is better to get your squash started as early as possible before the heat, and then to plant out again for fall instead of trying to carry it through. We have horrible, horrible problems with the squash bugs, and so I'm hoping having a different variety, a number of different varieties that are both short producing and long producing, this will go well for us. So this is where we're at today with what we can accomplish with the time that we have. And I have at least gotten the tray with my squash almost complete. Basically what I did is I started with filling each of these trays, or each of these cells in my tray, just normal fill. Then I went back through and I used my thumb and depressed the planting medium as firmly as I could, placed my seeds in, and now I'm going back over one more time, firm with a final covering of soil. And even though I don't normally top water, I'm running low on trays, so I will top water this one and get it under the seed starting lights to start out our day. As you can imagine, if any or all of these seeds come up, we will be doing some up potting, if not going directly into the ground, but more than likely we'll be doing some up potting. So that's all I have for you right now. I will probably do another update for my planting of my peppers and my tomatoes maybe today, hopefully. So I thank you for your time, and if you have any questions about any of these varieties, how to get a hold of them, who the suppliers are, and you would like to see continued updates on how they do, then please, by all means, subscribe below, and we'll look forward to the next time we get to meet. In the meantime, everyone, please stay safe and stay blessed.